So today I want to share with you guys some things that I've brought into my life lately in all aspects: home, lifestyle, some fashion things, and a lot of things in between. And a lot of the items that I've picked up over the last little bit is directly related to the fact that we are into the new year. I'm really not big on New Year's resolutions, but I do like to take this time of year to take stock of what worked and didn't work in the previous year. So some of the things that I have picked up are meant to help me very lightly in the goals that I do have for 2024, which I will be chatting about. But first, let's grab a coffee. So a big goal of mine in 2024 was actually to spend less money on coffee. In 2023, the amount of times that I went to a coffee shop and picked up a $5, $6, $7 drink, it was like practically every single day. So I decided to get a coffee machine and actually just make my coffee at home. And so this is my Breville Bambino. This isn't super new. I did get it a couple months ago and I have shared it with you guys already. But since sharing this, I actually get asked quite a bit of whether or not I still enjoy it, if I am happy with the purchase. And I gotta say, this is probably one of my favorite purchases that I've made over the last little bit. And with this machine, I find that I'm able to get like a coffee shop worthy cup of coffee. So I'm saving money by not going to the coffee shop every single day, and I'm not compromising on good coffee. This weighted blanket is everything. I've been interested in getting a weighted blanket for such a long time because I heard from a lot of people that it really helps with anxiety. Raise your hand if you're an anxious person. Yeah, so I need as much help with just kind of relaxing and calming down as possible. Another big goal for 2024 is just kind of finding ways to relax. I mean, I feel like that's a goal that we should all have. I didn't think that I would enjoy a weighted blanket as much as I actually do, because I thought that would make me kind of claustrophobic. And I can see how it could potentially make you feel claustrophobic, but it kind of just more so feels like you're being gently hugged. Now, I don't sleep with this at night because I do feel like it's a little bit overwhelming to sleep with, but just to like chill on the couch and to take naps with, it is absolutely fantastic. And we ended up going with the one from Lush, and this is the cotton version, and it actually is really nice because you would assume that something like this would be so hot. And I think because it's cotton, it's actually so breathable and it doesn't even get super hot underneath here. And sometimes I'm a little bit cold, honestly, and I need to layer my normal blanket on top of it to really get some warmth going. It also comes in a couple different weights. You're supposed to do like 10% of your body weight, or around 10% of your body weight. And so we got the 15-pound, and it is definitely heavy. So this is literally me every single night with the weighted blanket crocheting, and I'm so relaxed. Another big goal of mine for 2024 was getting a little bit more in tune with my body. And there's obviously so many ways to be able to achieve that, but I absolutely love and I'm fascinated, frankly, with wearable tech. And I've been really interested in the Oura Ring, which is the ring that I am wearing on my finger. So the Oura Ring was something that I was really interested in picking up for a while, but I always talked myself out of it. I wanted to be sure that if I did purchase it, that it was something that I actually found to be useful. When the Oura Ring first launched, I feel like the main focus of it was really around sleep tracking, but one of the biggest reasons why I picked up the Oura Ring was to actually track my cycle, and that's what really kind of sold me on the product. Let me just kind of rewind a little bit, because I'm sure a lot of you are not familiar with what the Oura Ring actually is. So this little ring has a bunch of sensors on the inside of it, and you wear it pretty much 24/7. And it tracks a couple different metrics: your heart rate, your body temperature, blood oxygen rate, and it also tracks your sleep and your activity. So for example, this is what my sleep graph looked like last night. And fun fact, the night before, I had probably the worst nightmare of my life. And it's kind of wild because you can actually see my heart rate spike when I was having that nightmare. And like I said, this also does track your cycles. So I also have an app called Natural Cycles, which pairs up with the Oura Ring, and it tracks your body temperature every single morning. And once it compiles enough data, it's actually able to predict when you're ovulating, when you're going to get your period. And I have a lot of friends who use this combination of Natural Cycles with the Oura Ring, and they've told me that it is so accurate. I realized not that long ago that I didn't know that much about my own cycle. So like I said, it was just a big goal of mine this year to get more in tune with it, to get more in tune with my body, where I am at in my cycle, so that I'm able to adjust my lifestyle accordingly. At least for myself, I feel like I'm able to adjust my expectations of myself, where I'm at with my energy levels. Knowledge is always power, and I love that I'm able to get a little bit more insight with the use of these tools. But I didn't expect how interested I would be in the sleep data, and also understanding how certain things that I do before going to sleep actually affect my sleep in the long run. So for example, there was a night that I had a couple drinks and you saw that in my sleep data. My recovery was shit. In consequence of that, I find myself being way more aware of what I'm doing before going to sleep so that I have a better recovery and I wake up the next morning feeling better and better. Besides all of the data, let's talk about how it actually looks and feels. If you are interested in the Oura Ring, definitely pick up the sizing kit. Don't just guess your size because it does not correlate to your actual ring size. It does run a little bit small from my understanding. It comes in a couple different colors. I ended up getting it in the rose gold because I found that the actual gold color looked very yellow green. It does have a little bit of pinkiness to it, but I find that it's a much truer gold color compared to their version of a yellow gold. I tend to wear it on my pointer finger or my middle finger, depending on how swollen my fingers are. And when I first got this, I was about to return it because I found it to be so uncomfortable. I almost found it to be like overstimulating on my finger. Like it just was so noticeable to me and I really was not enjoying it. But after like 2 days, I've totally gotten used to it and I honestly don't even notice it anymore. Now, one thing that I don't find this is great for is activity tracking, and I definitely do not depend on this for any type of activity tracking. I just don't find it to be ultra accurate. Whew, okay, that's enough about the Oura Ring. You know, I am proud of myself that I resisted getting on the Stanley Cup train for as long as I did, but here I am. I did not understand the Stanley Cup hype, okay? Like I saw it all around social media. Everybody was going crazy for these cups. Like it's a cup. It's a water bottle. It's not anything extraordinary, but I found that since having the Stanley Cup, I have been drinking so much more water than ever before. Like this is constantly in my hand. I'm constantly sipping from this thing. Size is great. It's 1.8 liters, so you get a whole lot of water in here. The handle, fantastic. Makes it super easy to hold. I love a straw. I actually never want to not have a straw in my water bottle. And the fact that it keeps my water ice cold. When I put this on my bedside table, and I take a sip of it in the middle of the night and I still hear the little clink, clink, clink of my ice. 8 hours later, nothing makes me happier really. I don't see myself collecting these because I've seen people go really crazy and have like, I don't know, 50 of these Stanley water bottles. One is definitely enough. So as I've mentioned a million times already, I've been obsessed with crocheting over the last couple of months. And this is definitely something that I'm continuing to bring into 2024. In fact, I'm actually in the middle of making my very first crocheted sweater. And if you're curious of how this is going to turn out, because fingers crossed it turns out great, I will be updating on Instagram. I'm really proud that crochet has become such a big part of my life because one big goal of mine in 2023 was to find a hobby and stick with it. So my goal for 2024 was to continue to crochet, but also expand my textile art skills. So I've decided to take up knitting and I bought some knitting needles. I actually learned to knit when I was like 12 years old. So I do have some knowledge like buried deep in my brain. When I bought these knitting needles and I started to try to knit, it actually kind of came back to me a little bit, but I don't know how to read the patterns. I don't know how to do anything other than the basic stitch. And I just simply want to learn. There's a local yarn store that actually does knitting courses. So I plan on doing that in 2024 so that I could add that to my list of hobbies. So yeah, knitting needles. That's something else that I purchased. Cookbooks. Another huge goal of mine for 2024 is to cook a lot more because in 2023, I Uber Eats'd a lot. When I took a look back at how much I spent on said Uber Eats, maybe a little bit nauseous. Like I wasn't super thrilled with my spending habits. I made a goal for myself in 2024 to cook as much as possible. And so all I really need to do for myself if a goal of mine is to cook more is just to plan ahead. So that means finding recipes that I really want to make, hence the cookbook, writing a grocery list, making sure all of the ingredients are in my fridge at the beginning of the week, and then all I gotta do is just throw it all together. And that is exactly what I have been doing over the last couple of weeks. And I don't even remember the last time I made an order on Uber Eats, and I'm really proud of myself for that. I've been cooking in pretty much every single night. So patting myself on the back. So it's just been really fun to jump back into cooking. And the two cookbooks that I've been really enjoying are the Love and Lemons cookbooks. I find that all the recipes that I've been trying from here are all delicious and they're all really easy and simple. So I would highly recommend them if you were looking for some new cookbooks for the new year. These are wonderful. I can't believe I almost forgot to talk about this. So it's actually the next day, hence the outfit change. And I'm at my office right now. And I kind of can't believe that I almost forgot to talk about my new markers. A couple weeks ago, I landed on the coloring book side of TikTok and I just became so entranced by all of these coloring videos. It was so relaxing to watch. And after watching who knows how many, I decided to buy myself my own set of markers as well as a coloring book so that I can color myself. Now, the thing about me is when I decide that I want to like take on a new activity, I go full force. I really don't mess around. Hence the box of 200 plus Ohuhu markers that I picked up off of Amazon after doing hours of research trying to find the best markers for coloring. I love anything artsy, and to relax throughout my entire life, my go-to activities were art related, whether it was drawing or painting and now crocheting. Because the second half of my job is owning a stationery shop and I do a lot of drawing for that, I actually don't find that drawing gives me the same type of relaxation as it used to, which is fine, but it's just kind of the reality of it being then a part of your job. So I've tried to find different types of art mediums to dive into that can still give me that relaxing feeling. And I never really considered coloring. I used to obviously use coloring books when I was a child, and I even dabbled in the adult coloring books, but I never really enjoyed them because I felt like they were too complex and complicated and intricate. And I found because that they were so intricate, they gave me anxiety instead of relaxing me, so I just never really enjoyed them. Very popular coloring book on TikTok are the Bobby Goods coloring books, and they're really wonderful because they're simple enough where they're not overwhelming, but they're also detailed enough where it's like actually fun to color in. And the doodles are just so cute. The book that I ended up getting is the How to Draw Super Cute Things with Bobby Goods, and this is actually a how-to book along with it being a coloring book. I honestly wasn't super interested in the how-to portion of this book, but her coloring books tend to be sold out, and this is the only one that's in stock on Amazon. So I got it anyway because I still wanted to try one of her coloring books, and so I'm just kind of skipping through the how-to parts of the book and just focusing on the coloring. As you can see, I have already colored in the page. And back to the markers, they really are so fun to use. They're from the brand Ohuhu, and this is the Honolulu series, and it's the 216 set. So there's a lot of colors in here, and it's nice because they're all double-sided. So you have a chisel tip on one end and then a pointed tip on the other. I just love that I'm showing you guys my markers on my YouTube channel. It makes me very happy. Like I said, one of my goals for 2024 is just to find more ways to relax and decompress, and coloring really is the perfect way to do that. So I came across a TikTok that was talking about socks and the importance of having your favorite socks stocked in your sock drawer. And a light bulb just went off in my head. Last year, I actually bought some socks from Aritzia. They were like TNA crew socks in a white and a cream color. And I noticed that every single time I would go into my sock drawer, those were the socks that I seeked out because they were just the perfect sock. And when they were dirty and I didn't have those socks in my sock drawer anymore, and I went towards like these guys, I would be so sad because I really wanted my Aritzia socks. So when I saw that TikTok, I was like, you know what? She's right. I need to completely revamp my sock drawer, get rid of the socks that don't bring me joy anymore, and just stock my sock drawer up with only my favorite socks so that I'm always excited to put my socks on. So many of you are probably looking at the screen like this right now. But I think a lot of you also hear me on this, and I wasn't messing around. I bought some new socks. And while I was picking up some socks, I also picked up some really soft and cozy loungewear because another little like light goal of mine was to revamp my loungewear. But first, the socks. I did initially just want to get some more Aritzia TNA socks, but instead I decided to pick up these guys. So I got this little set of Calvin Klein cushion crew socks. There's 6 pairs in here, and there's black, white, and gray, and I love the contrast stripe at the top. I just thought that it was really, really cute. And then I also got a couple pairs of these Stance socks, which are actually my #1 favorite sock, but they are so pricey. I was just staring at these being like, do I really want these socks? Because they are $48 for 3 pairs. But I decided just to go for it, and I ended up getting 2 sets. I know. I love these because I feel like I'm able to use them for both my workouts and just for casual day-to-day wear. Bye, 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 bye. These are my boyfriends. These are cute. Bye, bye. What are these? Oh, if you're wondering where all my Aritzia socks are, they're in the wash because like I said, they're the only ones that I like to wear. So excited. I cannot even begin to describe how cozy these cozies are. I don't want to wear anything else ever. The softness level, 10 on 10. I never heard of this brand before. It's called PJ Salvage. And I got this little green set, so these like leggings and this cute little long sleeve. And then I also got the same leggings in a gray color. They just didn't have the gray long sleeve in my size, so I wasn't able to pick it up. But trust me, I wanted to. I genuinely would have gotten every single color that they had, but I resisted because we're trying not to be impulsive for 2024. I just really want to wear cuter lounge pieces for around the house because I'll typically wear ratty old t-shirts with some sweatpants, and that's totally fine, obviously, but it's nice to feel cute when you're lounging around the house. And this color, I mean, this color is incredible. Love green in this house. Okay, what now? I have a little haul for you. Ooh. So my fashion goal for 2024 is to have a little bit more fun with my clothes. I have a lot of like core outfits that I always go back to. I don't want to change that, but I also want to have a little bit more fun, and I also wanted to add more pieces to my basics collection. So I got some stuff from Revolve, like this chunky sweater. I will be wearing this every single day this winter. This is a new staple for me. I'm also very much in my cardigan era, especially an oversized cardigan. There's just something so cozy and cute and chic about it. And like I said, we love green in this household. This color green. So those were some of the basic pieces that I got, but then I also got some things that are a little bit spicier. Guys, this dress is so good. Look at the back. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, this dress is so my style. Like, it's something that I feel very, very confident in, but it's also lightly outside of my comfort zone, which is what I'm trying to do for the new year. They're shoulder pads. She's velvet. She's nice and short. We got the open back, which is always a favorite. I just need somebody to invite me somewhere where I can wear this. Then we have this blue sparkly number. Another just perfect example of what I'm trying to achieve here for 2024. Like, when I saw this online, I was thinking to myself, this looks like something I would want to wear, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off. Might as well try it out. And it turns out I love it. Camera has been taken off the tripod so you guys can actually get a full look of this fit. It's just so fun. Like, look at these little ties. This is a top that I will be wearing as much as humanly possible. It's going to be my new go-to going out top. Last but not least, we got these boots. I love to have a pair of go-to black boots because they will obviously go with so many different outfits, and these are just stunning. They're so classic. I love the little belt detail. Now let's talk jewelry. Mademoiselle Jules is actually a brand of a fellow Montrealer. She is also a content creator, and she makes the most gorgeous jewelry. I got these heart earrings from her a couple months ago, and I have been wearing them non-stop. There's like little pink beads inside of the heart, and it just makes every outfit like a little bit more fun. When it comes to my jewelry, I always put a lot of emphasis on my rings and my earrings, and I'll often wear like statement rings and statement earrings. But when it comes to my necklaces, I tend to keep it really simple. All of my necklaces that I have in my collection are super dainty, and I also don't really switch them up that often. I'll wear like the same necklace for months at a time until I get sick of it, and then I'll switch it out and wear the next necklace for months at a time. So she actually reached out to me and sent me a couple of these pieces, which is so incredibly sweet. And she asked me which pieces I liked from her new collection, and I chose some statement necklaces. This one is absolutely incredible. Like, there's all these colorful beads with these really fun little, I don't even know what you would call these. They're like spikes with gemstones at the end. Moving forward, like, I want to make fun neck parties. I do ring parties and ear parties, and even sometimes wrist parties, but I don't opt to do neck parties. So we're gonna create some neck parties this year. I also got this guy, which is like half gold chain, half pearl. Also so much fun to layer with. And what's cool about some of her pieces is that you can actually layer on some of the charms that she has. So for example, I could even take the charm off of my earring and put it on this necklace. So I love a mismatched earring. It's so funny because when I was growing up, my mom would always wear mismatched jewelry, and she always tried to encourage me to do the same, but I just didn't think it was cool, so I didn't want to do it. And now as an adult, it's like my favorite way to wear my earrings. I love it when things don't match. It just creates so much more interest. This is a little earring set, and obviously they're both completely different pieces. So this is what one of the hoops look like, and then the other one has another little pearl with some like hanging stars. And then this is the other little mismatched pair that I got. So we have gemstones on one side and pearls on the other. So the last thing that I want to talk about with you guys is perfume. I am on the hunt for my 2024 scent. I obviously love my Baccarat Rouge 540, as I mentioned it a million times over the last couple of months and even in my yearly favorites. So I ended up discovering this brand called Dossier, and this brand basically dupes expensive perfumes. I ended up picking up the Ambery Saffron scent, which is supposed to be a dupe for Baccarat Rouge 540. And I would say it's like an 87% dupe. It's very, 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 very similar. I don't think the staying power is as long as the Baccarat Rouge 540. Like if I were to not shower, that perfume would last on me for days. Whereas this definitely does not last quite as long, but the actual scent is there. Like it really does smell very similar. And while I was picking up this guy, I also wanted to try another scent from the brand, and I ended up picking up Floral Marshmallow, which is supposed to be a dupe for a Kilian fragrance that I'm actually not familiar with, so I'm not able to compare it. But when I was reading the fragrance description, it just sounded really nice, so I just decided to pick it up. I couldn't think of a better way to describe this fragrance other than floral marshmallow, because that's exactly what this smells like. It smells like a mix of jasmine and marshmallows, which I really, really like, but then there's this undertone of sunscreen that kind of just throws me off. So when I first sprayed this on myself, I got so excited and I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be my 2024 scent. But as I continue to wear it, I like it a little bit less. I was hoping I would be able to give you guys a definite, like, this is my 2024 fragrance, but I don't have it yet. So again, I know I've asked you before, but please continue to give me your suggestions. And that is everything that I have to talk about with you guys for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed. And if you're not yet subscribed and you want to see more videos from me, click the button below and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.